I want to have this test done. Would
Well,
you
the
pay
reason
for
I'm
that?
asking, I've spent thousands already on hair analysis, all of everything that you talked about, and I'm still not sleeping. I'm healthy, everything's fine, but I'm still not sleeping. I tried progesterone, everything
Did
else.
you try melatonin? You probably
Right,
did.
yeah, you tried that.
Did you try the one thing always works? Always works. I hate to tell you that's a drug though. And it's not potent like Ambien, CR, which gives you vivid dreams, and you have somnambulism, which means the night walking. It doesn't give you that. It's Ativan. It's one of the old-fashioned anti-anxiety medication. You tried that too?
No, but I wouldn't.
You don't want to touch any drugs.
No, I've tried it and it gives me a hangover.
Yes. You can have a little sedation in the morning. It will put you to sleep, but you can have a little bit nausea next morning. What I do in my office is I start with the simplest thing. It will work for 50% of the patient, the other 50 it doesn't work. Then I go to the next step. We have certain kind of supplements. Calm PRT, I try that. Then that will cover another 20% patients. Now we took care of 70. 30% patients still don't respond. Ativan I have used only as a last resort. 80% of the patients in my office are on something natural for all their medical problems plus for anti-aging. 20% of my patients I give them drugs because I don't have anything that will work on them. I have no choice. Also realize traditional medicine saves lives in certain situations. If your blood pressure is 300 over 200, you come to my office, I'm not going to send you with a natural supplement. I'm going to give you something that you don't drop dead on your way back to home. And because that's what's going to happen. You will get a stroke. Natural supplements work slowly. The purpose of natural supplements is to prevent the medicine. So when you're young, you start looking after your health, you live healthy. I hate to say this, you're not going to like it. If you work on 3 legs of the stool that we talked about, and we will finish all our talks with the same prayer when we start and when we end. A person, unless you inherited such a genetic disposition that it's very difficult to change that, then you're going to develop some cancer. A person can generally, if you watch out from the beginning, you can live throughout your life pretty much without going to the doctor. You can live very healthy. You actually don't even need supplements, believe it or not. If you eat the foods that you watch out what you eat, you drink a water that is not contaminated, you drink preferably alkaline water, and you exercise, and you prevent gaining weight, just 3-4 things put together will absolutely change your life. You should drink always alkaline water. Unfortunately, it's expensive. The filter costs like $6,000. The reason I recommend alkaline water, here's the reason. When we deliver a baby, when the baby comes out and you pop that bag, or the amniotic bag ruptured, that water that comes out, amniotic fluid is so alkaline. Okay, now this is a philosophical conclusion. This is not based on hard evidence of science. You wonder why that fluid is so alkaline. Why the baby is growing in such an alkaline environment. It turns out, I believe, that as we grow older, acidity continues to increase in our body cells, becomes more and more acidic. Take a simple pH paper, that from a science shop, and put it on your tongue. You will see most of you will have a pH of 5 or 6. The pH of water is 7, which means neutral. And the amniotic fluid is like 11 or 12. So alkaline water, I believe that if all the body cells are bathed in that alkaline environment, somehow it makes them healthy. They divide properly, they pass on less genetic defective information to their progenies. It's a philosophical belief. In Japan, it's very common. All hospitals in Japan, not all, but most of them, if you go, they have alkaline water machines in the hallways. That's what they drink. And Japan is always 25 years ahead of ahead of us in terms of technology, innovation. Little tiny country, the size of a couple of counties here. But they are always 25 years ahead in the thinking process of healthcare, innovation, technology, new ideas. So water, is very important. Remember 80% of the body is water. It is all water. Body is made of water. Water is important. What you eat is very important. If you eat healthy, and if you eat sensible, there is an old saying by someone who said, eat less, sleep less, and have a kindness in your heart. Those three things are good enough to make you live very well. So we are going to have a lot of seminars just on mind, just on spirit, because those are two legs of the stool. If they're missing, your body may be okay, but the mind gets sick. And realize, just like healthy mind lives in a healthy body demands a healthy mind. It will not become healthy on its own. If mind is afflicted, nothing seems to work. Yes, I'm sorry.
Back to the niacin. You said niacin doesn't help lower triglycerides.
Yes.
Is there anything that helps lower triglycerides?
Yeah, they are chiropactic. There are things that you can take that bind to fat in your stomach, and you poo it out. So when the food absorbs into the gut, into the duodenum, small intestines, and from the stomach, the fat part, first food breaks down into molecules. Carbohydrates, 80% of the diet we take is carbohydrate. First it breaks down, chop, becomes small molecules. And then the fat part, there are things you can take that bind to it. They are natural things, and that will go out that way rather than going into the bloodstream. So it can bring down. There are several ways to bring triglycerides down. So just because niacin doesn't work for triglycerides doesn't mean that we have to take those drugs. We don't. That's not a good enough reason.
Awesome. Natural hormones, does that help with osteoarthritis? Does anything help with that?
Not that I know of, but we have things in the office which work for, I would say, 70%. For example, chondroitin sulfate mixtures, they work for 70% of the people. Other 30%, they don't have a response. That's why it's not a slam dunk that, I got something for arthritis, come to my office. It's not like that. It's give you for some people works very well. For some people, sharp cartilage works. We have bone health that works for some people. I have a supplement in my office, again, very controversial, that works for bipolar disorder, for mental illness. Does it work for everyone? No, it doesn't. This was a company in Canada that, I don't know how they did it, somebody to grind some vitamins, and then they went to shale. Burgess Shale. You guys know what Burgess Shale is, where they found the old thought biology, where the Cambrian explosion, where they found all the fossils. So they got some minerals from that, they mixed it. I don't know what was the idea, who did it, I don't know the origin of how they manufactured. They tried it on some patients who had bipolar disorder. And this story is on the internet, actually, by that company, the old story. Internet, you don't believe everything on the internet, but this is because there's a story, there's a Harvard professor involved, so it's not a false story. I heard from a seminar when I was attending on bioidentical hormones. So it's called Empower Plus. They gave it to some patients, and they claimed that 100% of the patients responded very well. So they took some bottles to a Harvard, head of the psychiatry at Harvard University, and I forgot his name, I can find it for you. So they said, try this treats bipolar disorder, depression and mania. And he, of course, he's a traditionally trained doctor. He said, this is voodoo medicine, get out of my office. And they said, they basically were kicked out. They said, okay, we're leaving some bottles here, but try, we are leaving. They left some bottles over there. Next day, a family came to him and with their daughter, and he was treating their daughter for 20 years. And he said to the family, I have tried everything. There's really nothing I can do for her. I'm very sorry. As they were leaving, he said, this is some voodoo medicine. Someone, I dropped it off. Take it, try it. You got nothing to lose. They tried, family came back and they said there's a dramatic change in her behavior. And then he gave it to some few more patients. Later on, he made a statement that 80% of the people, 80% of his patients responded to that. Now, here is a licensed doctor like myself. When you talk too much, they'll take your license away. I've been threatened too by saying these things. So he has to be cautious. The drug companies that make psychiatric medication, it's law in Canada that you cannot sell any supplement for mental health unless it is approved by the government or unless it's a drug. It's the law over it. So those government sued this company that was selling Empower Plus. So the case went to the court, and they called this company, called this Harvard professor in defense that he used, and he testified that yes, I don't know what it is, but they dropped it off to my office and I tried, and 80% of the people responded. But we talked about legal system. The way legal system is, one Harvard professor, one doctor's testimony doesn't mean anything. The opposite company, the government, other drug companies, they pour millions and millions of dollars into the lawsuit. And you know how legal system works? The more money you have, the more likely you are to win. Even if you are a complete liar. That's how the legal system works. Now this may be a surprise to you, but this is a fact. If you talk to a lawyer or a judge privately, in confidence they will tell you. That's how it works. Openly they will not make a statement like that because they know they're not going to lose their job. Sorry. Someone raised their hand here. Whichever.
Are those BRCA genetic tests difficult, and do they cost a lot of money?
I don't believe so. They might have cost a lot of money in the past. Now they are very routine, BRCA1 and BRCA2. We do it all the time and you get the results within a week. Because as technology changes, these tests are more and more, computers do everything, and they CA125, I used to do that 20 years ago, it was a big deal for ovarian cancer. Like I have to wait 3 hours, it's sent to LA. Before I get the results, now they give me the result next day. They probably do it here to make us feel. So no, I don't believe
Can you just walk into any lab and ask?
Oh yeah,
or do you have to have
yeah,
a
it's
referral?
just blood work. We send you and they draw the blood here. You have results within like 4 days. It used to be when it came out. Now there are some new tests for ovarian cancer. They are the same. It's fancy. It takes more money. A couple of years from now, it will become routine. We will conclude here. I think time is up. And remember our prayer: the 3 legs, the mind, body, and soul have to work together in order to be healthy. And that is how we will start every seminar. The next one is on August 1.